Good evening, good morrow, and good day, and welcome to another edition of Slice and Dice here with the Manylands campaign. Of course, it's not me on my own. I'm joined, of course, by my cohorts here. Welcome, team, and a welcome back to Dan, ladies and gentlemen. Hello.
Hello. Welcome back, Dan.
Welcome back. How does it feel to be back after like a month to be picking up Fleeting Look and this crazy campaign again?
Pretty good.
I hope that enthusiasm continues. I hope I don't disappoint. You've set the bar very high with pretty good, so I've got to hang on to that. All right. So before we jump in today, in terms of announcements, now we've got some exciting stuff coming up in September. As I've said once before on stream, but I'll remind you guys again. Oh, should I say this is a shameless plug?
Shameless plug!
There we are. So pencil in your diaries, or even get a pen and write it in your diaries if you happen to not have any plans yet booked in for Wednesday the 30th of September at around about I want to say like 6 p.m, 5 p.m. Our time. That's British Standard Time. Put that in your diaries because there's going to be a very one-off, a very exclusive, very fabulous, very intriguing one-shot game that we're going to be hosting here. I myself will be one of the players in it, and the rest of the team is a collaboration of D&D creators, story makers. We've got dice makers, like tray makers, accessory makers. All of these, basically massive den of nerds all coming together to play a one-off game together. In I think the guy. I think it's Family Fantasy RPG, Colin from there, who is hosting, and he's DMing, and he is bringing his own unique setting. So not the Manylands, but a completely separate campaign that he'll be hosting for that one-off stream. Should be a lot of fun, so please do check that out. But I said, if those of you who've been following on socials, that we had a big important announcement. That surprisingly was not the big important announcement.
Shameless plug!
The big important announcement is, you may, if you cast your minds back to some time ago, a few months back here on the channel, I was teasing and talking about potentially having a second campaign starting up, that being Tales from the Sword Coast. Now, for those of you who've been keeping the loop, I've obviously said that has been put on hold for a little while due to a few issues there with just there's some scheduling, there's some the DMs taking a break for a little while, so we're kind of putting that campaign on hold. However, I'm very happy to say that we now have a second campaign that will be starting up. Now, this campaign is completely separate from the Manylands. It's nothing to do with this campaign. It's not linked in the slightest, and in fact, it's with a whole new roster of players and DM. I will be a player in that one, for a change, but we have a completely new set of players, completely new setting. It starts off within the Sword Coast, from the Tales of the Sword Coast. You may have seen on our YouTube and on Twitch a couple of months ago, I did a couple of intro sessions. It was a one-shot that turned into a two-shot, the Amphail Assassin. Go check that out on our YouTube if you haven't already. This is the time to do it, because some of the characters from that game now join us in this next campaign that's going to be starting. And the question that you really want to know the answer to is, when is it going to be shown? So this second campaign is not going to be a live streamed game. It's going to be up on YouTube. It will be released fortnightly on YouTube. And I'll also, I think, because at the moment we can also upload previous sessions, pre-recorded sessions, up onto Twitch. So it will go onto Twitch, but it won't be a live broadcast on Twitch. So it's a slightly different angle with this one. And I don't really know what else to tell you about it, other than like I said, when is it going to be shown? It will be up, so it'll be up fortnightly on Friday. So on the Fridays where we don't have our campaign diary, we'll instead have the next session from not the Tales of the Sword Coast. In fact, it's got a completely different name altogether. So I'm going to give you a very quick introduction now, a little intro video that I've worked on for it, which should be a bit of fun, introducing the characters and the name of this new campaign. So, without any further ado, here we go. There you go. So, The Cage is the name of the new series that will be starting up on our YouTube. I'm going to be releasing our sort of session 0 this week on Wednesday. So keep an eye on our YouTube channel. If you're not following us on YouTube already, please do so, because you'll be notified as soon as the premiere starts on YouTube for that. And then the second session will be then coming up, as I said, on alternate Fridays. So when we're not doing our campaign diaries on Fridays at 5 here on Twitch, we'll be having the next session of The Cage. So as you may have gleaned from the intro video there, The Cage. I should say none of that artwork is mine. So it's all free to use sort of stuff. Not going to claim that I made that. Just for copyright's sake. But yes, it's more of a plane jumping, plane shifting, portal jumping kind of experience. So a different kind of game to what we've at least got going on so far here in the Manylands. So a completely different offering with Stephen DMing that. Anyway, yes, if that tickles your fancy, guys, as I can see some of you in the chat have already commented, then yeah, please do tune in on Wednesday. That's when it will be dropping onto our YouTube. Should be at 6 p.m. on Wednesday. Let's go check that out. Anyway, that's enough of a plug, I think, there. Unless anyone else has anything to add, I think we should probably jump in with tonight's session. Sound good? Okay, let's jump in with tonight's session here in the Manylands campaign. And we are back. So, guys, last time in the Manylands campaign. Now, you guys you were looking into these abducted small people and had drawn the conclusion that there were two things in common. First, that they were small people. They were either smaller races, gnomes and halflings, or they were child-sized. So they were around the sort of 3 feet mark in height. And also they were in some way connected with the Moonrunners, the clandestine kind of organization that is based just outside of Hillburg, where you guys are. So after you laid a trap for what you believe would be giant birds that would come to abduct yet another small person, using the willing and able Belle Quigley, sister of Bantam Quigley, who was abducted only the previous night, by having her out in the open in the fields, while the rest of you, some successfully and some not so successfully, hiding to kind of spring the trap on these would-be abductors, then discoveed that in fact it was not giant birds. No, these were bird people, otherwise known as the Aarakocra, which, funny enough, Brucon had read in his studies in one beaten and forgotten tome he had managed to pull out of the extensive library at the council chambers. So yeah, this was interesting because these not only are these bird people, but they're also of a monastic order, as Brucon had read, and the robes, the weapons they used, and their fighting prowess that soon happened during this exchange, kind of revealed that to you. So. Because some of the group weren't particularly well hidden, Malar and Fleeting, sorry Dan, you didn't roll very well, didn't hide so well, the bird people got spooked and instead went for a secondary target elsewhere in the town. Fortunately, the party reacted very quickly, and thanks to some great planning by Seth giving Brucon the potion of flying that he discovered he possessed, meant that Brucon, along with potion of flying and boots of speed, makes a serious crouching tiger hidden dragon combination, and so just flew straight across the town as quickly as he could, catching up instantly with these bird people, fighting them in the sky whilst the rest of you on the ground scrabbled to get to them. And although the fight looked like it was in hand for you guys, it was really the intervention of Leobrin using the tongues spell that really sort of proved its worth and really separated the cat from the pigeons, I guess, if you'll pardon the expression, as you then managed to, through him, work out that these bird people were working under the orders of Manticores, on being threatened with death if they were not to cooperate. Their masters have now gone missing as well at the Eyrie, leaving them kind of leaderless and rudderless, I guess. And so these folk have been coerced into finding small people who supposedly carry something of value to the Manticores. There was also rumours that perhaps the Manticores themselves weren't the ones in charge, and that there was somebody above them, but nothing more has been said than that so far. You gather that there are a good number of these bird people at their home, the Eyrie, up in the mountains. But there clearly are quite a lot of Manticores as well, hence they've been brought into line swiftly and with much bloodshed, from what you understand, at least if everything that the bird people have told you is accurate. So whilst you have one of the bird people knocked out during the fight, one of them, Kerr, gave all this information to you. And so Malar, Leobrin, and Neris have taken the two of them back to your townhouse to then sort of hold them up for now before awaiting for the rest of the party, who've headed along with Belle to the Moonrunners meeting that you guys were due to go to that evening. So you guys are heading off that way, but some kind of bittersweet news, I guess, for Leobrin and Malar, as Neris kind of revealed then that she felt that at this time that she wanted to spend more time with her uncle, and just kind of, I guess, take some time to grieve, which, you guys were very understanding of, and let her go on her way, although obviously a bit of a hit to your team for now. But she did, of course, note to Malar that if the Red Mages are involved, let her know, and she will be there, because she ain't going to let that slide. So while the three of you, or should I say the two of you now, Leobrin and Malar, have headed back to the townhouse with your charges, the rest of you, I should say, having sort of dusted off after the skirmish, having sweet-talked, I guess, the guards into just letting you get on with your investigation and whatever you need to do, but you were warned by the lieutenant, Asim Devilblight, not to maybe leave captives here and try and lure Manticores into the town, because that is not going to go down well with anyone in the constabulary, and they will be forced to take action if that is what you choose to do. Anyway, so with that little warning in mind, you guys then headed on to your meeting with the Moonrunners to see what it is that they have planned and how it is that you guys could perhaps, I don't know, work together. So as you're on your way there, actually, this would probably be a good time to clear it up, actually, between the three of you. So Brucon, Seth, Fleeting, what's the plan here?
We're still going towards the meeting, aren't we?
Yeah. So what do you want to get out of the meeting, should I say? I don't know if this is something you might want to discuss between you. Just go there and see what they have to say, sort of thing.
I can't remember what the cat person invited us. Oh, God, we're taking directions from small woodland creatures.
Wasn't the cat was... Oh, no, the cat was the Moonrunners thing, wasn't it?
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the one who invited you to the meeting, Cat. That's right. And Belle's now taking you there.
Yeah.
We were going to get information, but now we're going to give them information.
Well, I mean, knowing what they know and then filling in any gaps seems useful.
They've never known anything, though.
Pooling your resources, you never know, could warrant some success. So as you guys head over there, so you head out of the main gates of the town, sort of round the palisade, following it in a sort of rounding to the north. You can see again the mill in the distance, and you remember that this was where you went before, Seth, when you were sort of clued in on a meeting there. So it's the same location. Belle's leading you there this time. She seems very happy to be walking side by side, rubbing shoulders, if you like, with these would-be heroes that you guys now have sort of been elevated to that kind of status in the town. You're well known for the deeds that you've carried out so far. Not as well known as Leobrin, who really is like the figurehead. He is the celebrity of the group, having done many good deeds in the downtime. For the quite literally, Marshall could walk around the town just saluting everyone. But yeah, she seems.
I love you,
very
Leobrin. I love you, random citizen.
Very much so. Yeah, that's very much the feel. So as Belle leads you there, she's sort of chatting excitedly. We have not had so many new members to come to a meeting in such a long time. I remember the last time you came yourself. It was a very good night for me and for you, maybe.
We're not coming as new members. Get over that last part.
Okay. Well, it is not. It is a long time since we've had so many outsiders come to this kind of meeting before. So, do you know many of the members here, or is it just me that you know of?
We've met a few. Very, very easy to find Moonrunners in town, surprisingly.
Oh, you would be surprised just how many Moonrunners there are there.
Based on our experiences so far, it seems
we met about 7 in town or so. After about an hour in town.
Yes, it seems to be about 90% of the population belonging to the Moonrunners, based on the current probability.
You are cheeky, but you are not far off. Okay, so do not mind if you see any eyes in around this area. We always have a few of the the lower-ranked members that will watch out for intruders as they work as scouts, you see. So not something you should be really worried about. If it causes any distress, I am sorry.
That's fine. Let's just get to this meeting so we can go hunting some Manticores.
Oh, yes, I'm sure this information will be serve you both well. Okay, and she kind of continues on. You get to the mill, and she pulls out a key, opens the door with a click. This big wooden door that then creaks open, and you see inside several folk. Seth, you would recognize, of course, the bronze dragonborn who sometimes frequents the temple and who you met in a prison wagon kind of a few weeks ago now. Who's there? I don't think she's still given you her name at this point, that one. A little bit secretive. You also
So many
recognise.
friends in that prison wagon.
Yes, yeah.
Poor old crazy guy who died in episode 1.
Crazy guy who died in episode 1. He will never be forgotten. You also recognise all of you, Cat, standing there with her straight black hair and large green eyes, a cocky smirk across her face.
This size or this size?
No,
Cat
she's in
size,
human form at this
human
point.
size.
Yes, I didn't make that very clear, did I? She is in human form currently. Alongside her, you see probably not many folks you would recognise actually, but there are several dwarves. There's a few humans there as well, and it seems the biggest status characters that are there are two dwarves who are sort of leaning against a table to one side. One of them looks very muscular, very broad. He's got very short black hair, kind of it looks like kind of dirty skin, like he hasn't washed that often, or it's just kind of covered in grime and stuff from a hard day's labouring or whatever he was doing. He's also got several tattoos down both arms. One that's probably what are your passive perceptions, guys?
Mine's like 13 or something.
Yeah, the party averages are like 12.75.
Yeah, something like that.
About 13.
I think fleeting
10.
probably isn't quite as good. There we go, 10. Well, okay, so for Seth and Brucon, you would notice one tattoo in particular on his left bicep, which is a heart with the word mum written on it.
Only really hard boys love their mums.
Exactly. He has, but several tattoos of birds, daggers, other sort of thing. He's got full-on sleeves of tattoos. A large brow. He's got scars over one eyebrow, kind of beaten eyes, and a thick moustache and stubble. The other seems to be very bushy, wearing like full-on leathers. Looks kind of like a roadie, actually. The second one. He's kind of leaning with his feet up on the table. His chair is up on two legs as he leans back into it, and he seems to be playing with his very long, already braided hair, but he seems to be making other braids of his dark hair as he sits there. Seems to not really have a care in the world. This one, and you get an instant smell which you think perhaps could be emanating from this individual. Smell kind of, I guess, of it's kind of maybe a freshly cut grass kind of smell, a bit more pungent perhaps. Maybe that slight mouldy smell. That's anyway the very
Mildew.
A very interesting aroma that unmistakably would be from some sort of narcotic. That goes without saying.
Oh, there it is.
I need to stop smelling people when I walk in room.
It just hits you straight away, this smell. Anyway, these two look up at you. The one leaning back in the chair doesn't really move all that much, just kind of nods in your direction. The other stands up, places both of his powerful-looking hands over the table.
So we've got visitors. Heard you were coming. Please, come on inside. Belle, could you get the door behind them? Thanks, love.
Is this the guy who loves his mum? Sorry.
That is the one who loves his mum, yes. He goes,
oui, sir.
I will do this now. And she closes the door behind you. And you're kind of ushered in. The room isn't very well lit. There's one sconce at one end of the room. Meaning there's a dimness here. It's certainly sets a mood for you. The Moonrunners, shadows, darkness. It's all almost cliched what you would imagine this kind of meeting to be like. Anyway,
is there catering?
Not that you can see, but you make a perception check, see if you can spot anything else in the room that could indicate as such.
20, non-natural.
Okay, well, with a 20, obviously this is a mill that you guys are in. It is a functioning mill, and as well as intermingled with that smell of the narcotics, you also get the smell of freshly baked bread wafting from somewhere, perhaps in an outbuilding or somewhere nearby to this location.
It's an olfactory roller coaster in here. My God.
There's all sorts going on. I mean, as I said, an outbuilding, perhaps not actually inside this place.
What's next? Fish and chips?
Moonrunners is just
I
Glastonbury Festival.
I regret mentioning that because I'm hungry.
Oh no,
now
let's not talk about food. But
I'm just updating my notes. Secret meetings equals no catering. Needs to be come to.
Anyway, the one who loves his mum, who was referred to as Cyril by Bell just then, for those who are paying attention, kind of looks between the three of you.
So, interesting group you've got here. Tell me, Kat says you had some information regarding these missing persons have been around the town.
Yes, we've unfortunately only been able to discover who's taking them, why they're taking them, and where they're taking them.
And he raises
we haven't got much to go on, really.
One of his thick eyebrows raises right up, and a nod of approval comes from him.
Right, seems we underestimated you. So, is this information you care to share with us, or is this you coming here to gloat?
It's why we've come to share information and hopefully get them in return.
Well, information is part of our trade, so I'm sure we can help each other out, you know. So, tell me, who are these people that have been taking the people? Why are they taking the people, and where are they taking them to? In no particular order.
Are other people listening to our conversation? Are we addressing the room, or is it just talking to him?
You're addressing the room. Everyone else is silent and kind of gathered around.
This guy's got big head honcho vibes.
He's got some head honcho vibes, sure, yeah.
We discovered they're being taken to a place called the Eyrie in it was north, wasn't it?
Northwest.
Yes.
Yeah, northwest, by the Aarakocras, who have been forced to by a group of Manticores. We've captured some of the people being taking them, and we've got their word that the people are alive. So your people are alive, and we plan to go and collect and try and retrieve them tomorrow.
All right. Excellent news indeed.
He turns to the relaxed-looking dwarf at his side on the table.
Reg, have you heard of this place, the Eyrie? Ring any bells to you?
After a long moment, the other dwarf takes his feet down from the table, just kind of leans forward.
Oh, no, it's not something I've heard of before, but I assume it's somewhere in the mountains, is it?
Good deduction.
Somewhere in the mountains, it seems. Well, perhaps it's in the direction we might be interested in, Cyril. No? Well, way to play our cards openly to the people there, Reg. Thank you. Yes, if you're looking to head into the mountains that divide Burikrin from Rachir, that's an area that we happen to have, shall we say, a few connections in. It's a place we move through frequently. So if you're offering that this place is out in the mountains somewhere, is somewhere we could definitely get you to, relatively unseen.
I don't think we actually want to be unseen, because a Manticore is going to be coming along as we're traveling, and we plan to be very seen by it to take it down on the way.
Oh. Not as subtle as you or I, Reg, or the rest of you lads here, but still, taking on a Manticore, that's the stuff of books, isn't it? Well, don't let me stop you if that's what you want to do. Well,
But
not.
there is something you could help us with.
Go on.
Is the person who's controlling the Manticores.
Oh.
There's an organization that's controlling the Manticores. They're trying to take the small ones because they're looking for a certain small individual.
Right.
I trust you know of the fire that happened 3-4 nights ago at
Yes.
Flaming Jack.
Yes, we heard and we saw.
We believe the one they're looking for is the proprietor, Jackpin something bottom.
We figured it was arson. You know, Jackpin's a little bit of a dodgy character. We've had a couple of run-ins before, but well, that's certainly interesting. So, sorry, you were saying?
They're looking for this, and I'm going to minor illusion a picture of the Bone Dragon dagger.
Oh, good call, good call.
And the person who's controlling them is called Damon, and I'm going to minor illusion a picture of Damon. He leads the organization known as the Red Mages, and they are controlling the Manticores to capture your people looking for those bone daggers.
He turns to Reg and a couple of his other cohorts and starts speaking in Dwarvish, which obviously Brucon you're going to understand. He said, well, Red Mages, it's not from round here, is it? I think it's something I might have to take with the higher ups. It seems pretty big for us. Yeah. And one of the others is like, oh, well, I mean, if that's what they say is true, of course. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty really the thing. And Reg just very loudly just says in common, oh, come on, Reg. Yeah, if they say it's the Red Mages, I'm sure it's the Red Mages.
Is this Reg talking or being addressed?
Reg is now talking, yeah. So he's the slightly higher gangster one. He's like, yeah, I'm sure it's, if it's the Red Mages, that's fine. I mean, he said there's only one. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. There's nothing to worry about. Reg, seriously. So, yes, you're saying the Red Mages are involved and this Damon character's leading them. Oh, are you saying that he's behind the Manticores as well?
To try and capture small folk while looking for Jackpin.
Right.
He's
So
maybe doing
Jackpin's
it
the one they want.
under the other guys. Yeah, they're maybe doing it under the guise of other things. The Aarakocras don't know their true intentions, but this is what they're truly looking for.
Well, I can't deny that we're obviously want our people back. Some of us here have loved ones who are perfectly innocent that have been taken into this matter. He looks to one side. You see a kind of straggly head human. He looks quite anxious and kind of he's kind of brushing bits of wood and sawdust from his beard, but a bit nervously, and suddenly blurts out, "We've got to get my boy back. We've got to get Will back, please." All right, Bracken, seriously, let's calm it down. Right, yes, as I said, perfectly innocent people that lives are at stake. Obviously, if
Brucon leans over at this point and says, sorry to correct you, you did say some innocent people.
Yes.
Just wanted to be clear.
Some innocent people have been taken, yeah, sure. I'm not saying that we don't know everyone who's been taken. I mean, the those that we know of, well, with the exception of Hugo, I guess, are what we would call innocents. Obviously had nothing to do with this matter, but when you sign up to the Moonrunners, you know that it comes with certain risks. It's nothing that Hugo wouldn't have already, maybe not been prepared for this entire circumstance, but certainly, there were risks with the job, there are risks with his line of work, and there's risks when you con as many people as Hugo does. That's how it
I,
is.
I understand. When you say innocent, this is like innocent. Right, got you. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, obviously the child is innocent, the boy. And, well, the brother of Bell there, he's nothing to do with us, but he's a bystander nonetheless. And, this kind of, it's not a fitting end to these people, for sure. So, obviously, if you're intending to go there and liberate these people, it would be much appreciated by us here at the Moonrunners, for sure.
And what form will this appreciation take?
Like a dwarf who speaks my language. Obviously not dwarvish, but the language of money. Well, let's see. When it comes to favours, I mean, the Moonrunners here can get you all kinds of contraband, other goods that perhaps you wouldn't be able to find in any stores. We're smugglers, really. We handle stuff across borders. That's entirely our job. Although we do move a few people around as well, of course. So, as I said, if you need to get anywhere without really being seen, let's say you have a favour you can call in with us. How's that sound?
A favour with a criminal organisation. Zeph, what do you think?
Better than the other promises we've received for going and killing monsters.
Yes, it's much more liquid. Yes, I agree.
That's a problem with a lot of folks. They don't understand the true currency, of dealing with fellas like yourself.
I think there are a lot of people that have been taken, though. Would you be able to provide any sort of means of transporting them back to the town? We seem to be lacking horses and carriages to get them back.
Well, as I said, we're used to moving people from one place to another, with discretion being the watchword. Now, perhaps we can arrange for transportation to meet you at a point around the mountains, and that way, those you liberate, we can hop straight onto the carriage and away they go. I'm sure Reg here can sort out the finer points, being the route master and all. Oh, come on. I suppose I like the open air, so that's, yeah, all right then. You see?
Sounds like a good plan.
I don't suppose you can tell us exactly where this Erie is that you're going to. That way we can, with Reg here, you can work out exactly where you would meet.
Yeah, maybe, sort of, a little. We might have to get back to you on that. We have a map, but we don't have a map for understanding where the map for the map is, if that makes any sense at all. Which it doesn't. But anyway, stick a pin in that one. We'll get back to you.
When we leave, we could stop. We could stop by Bell's in the morning when we're leaving, with a location on the map for you. Meet us in a couple of days.
That's Bell. Is that agreeable to you? Oh, we Cyril. Yes, we could do that. I would do anything for Zephyr. He is a reliable and a strong pair of hands.
Furious chewing from James.
And obviously Cyril looks a little suspiciously at Belle for a moment there, as essentially heart shapes appear in her eyes. Right. Well,
how like jealous does Fleeting look?
Good question. Fleeting, how did you feel about that?
Oh, throughout this entire conversation, Fleeting has just been staring directly at Bell, stroking his hammer.
Amazing. At this point, the cat speaks up. Cyril, it probably is worth bearing in mind that our friends here have some,
a couple of new recruits in their numbers who are supposedly going to be, I guess, leading them to this location. A couple of the bird folk, wasn't it?
Aarakocra, I think, is what is the preferred term. But yes, we've managed to persuade two of the bird folk to, I suppose you'd say, cross the ranks and or cross the picket line and join on our side. They'll be helping us locate the Eyrie.
Sienna
And in
makes,
exchange, they won't be getting punched in the face.
Sienna
It works well for everyone.
It's an astute observation, Sienna. A very good point. So yeah, with those fellas in your company, you're definitely going to be sticking out on your travels. But it also means you've got a couple of pairs of eyes in the sky for helping with the rendezvous. So that should maybe it could prove beneficial to you. But on the subject of these Aarakocra, as you say, what's your relationship with those guys? What's their shtick?
We didn't kill them, and so
The most important piece of information.
Kill them.
Well, with life there is possibilities, isn't there? But well, you said they were in somewhere called the Eyrie. Now, what's their connection to this place? Is it a fortress? Is it an underground base? What sort of place is it?
I think, considering they're bird people, it is not underground.
Well, you know, this is the first I've heard of bird folk. I didn't want to assume anything. You know what they say about assumptions.
It seems to be a monastery of some kind, from what I could tell. They practiced a sort of a variant form of the martial arts that I've learned in my time studying at the Baokfang Monastery, although their techniques are not identical. So I would say they seem to be students of the arts martial and possibly philosophical as well, although they're rather junior. So
rather
entry
shut
level
off,
at best.
would you say? Rather, away from civilization, no interloping from any outsiders.
What this society that almost nobody had ever heard of and thought was mythical, if they had heard of it for centuries beforehand. Yes, I think it's fair to say that yes, they're somewhat on the isolated side. Yes.
Well, and he kind of grins on hearing your words, reaffirming what he already had a hunch about. Well, if these folk are such that they can be reasoned with, perhaps that could be a useful location for our operations as well.
Possibly. It depends on how fluent you are in bird speech.
Well, you obviously, to get this much information from the bird folk, you must share some kind of language with them. So perhaps
we have a workaround.
Well, perhaps this workaround can be used to sweeten the pot, if you like, with our deal. So, if you were able to convince this folk that maybe some of us lot can use some of their facilities to our own ends for moving people, moving items around across the border, well, maybe we can give you some kind of financial or otherwise lucrative compensation.
Interesting idea. We'll have to give that one some thought, I think.
Well, let me know how you get on either way, and we'll work around what you come up with, I guess. We'll work around your workaround, if you like. Well, that being said, unless anyone else here has any other business, I think we have everything we need from you lot, and I hope you have everything you need from us. You, the turquoise one in the corner there. Yeah, with the hammer, you. Anything you'd like to add?
No, you mentioned that, we'd get a favour from you in the future. What kind of favour could we have?
What kind of favour do you desire?
Well, I think we should kind of have some rules about it. Like, I mean, the only favours we've really agreed to in the past are ones where no questions are asked. So if we could have a similar kind of deal, that would work quite well.
Oh, you mean as in a quid pro quo? We offer you a favour and it can be literally anything, and you can just say what it is, and we have to agree to it. That kind of thing, was it?
Exactly that. I'm glad you understand.
Yes,
Well,
the blank check seems like a good metaphor
Well,
to evoke.
I can see why that's tempting, but of course, we have a limited skill set, and so what we can offer to you is not going to be beyond the realms of possibility. We can't promise you the earth. What we can promise you, however, is if you want to call in a favour in terms of equipment, in terms of lodgings, in terms of movement, in terms of otherwise being unnoticed or having your problems simply go away, then it's something we can definitely arrange. Of course, if you're looking for more of a favour of the more sordid variety, my friend, again, it's something we can probably arrange.
So if we say that it has to be something you can physically do, but it can be anything that you can physically do.
Anything
that
we
would
can
work.
physically do or anything we can physically give, then yes, I guess. Within reason, okay. Obviously, I think it goes without saying that you don't want to cross the Moonrunners. We're just one chapter, you see. They're all around Burekrin and beyond. So you make an enemy with us and you're going to spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder. It's not the best way to do things, is it?
I'm sorry, I zoned out for a moment there. We went from discussing the nature of your favour for us, and then seemed to go straight to threats of physical harm.
I was
catching me up on the gaps there.
Just to fill in the blanks, my learned friend. What I'm saying is that you get a favour, but if you take the piss, then we're going to take more than the piss out of you. Does that seem fair?
No, not really. No, if we took the piss, then you taking the piss would be eminently fair.
No, I'm saying.
No.
I'm saying if you take the piss, then.
Why do you want our piss?
I see you're not from around here, Master Elf. What I'm saying is that if this favour is ludicrous, then we may have to forcefully decline your request. And if you try and cross us, be sure it's not going to end well for you. So I'm saying, remain on our good side if you know what's good for you. All right?
You can say no first before the forceful no part, Brad.
But there's not as much flair, is there? There's not as much theatre to that, is there?
I also have a question about you're asking us to go and deal with Manticores, and if we don't go and deal with Manticores for you, you're threatening us. Does that mean that
no?
willing to just go and deal with
Just to be
Manticores?
clear here, I'm saying if you don't deal with the Manticores, not our business. If you do deal with the Manticores, great. If you bring back those folk that have gone missing for us, then we shall reward you with a favour. That is the proposition.
And if you don't like the favour that we ask for, you'll kill us.
Yeah, well, maybe not kill. It depends on the severity of which the grievance, I guess.
And it sounds like we'd be better off just leaving now.
What's Marmy Boy's name again?
Cyril.
Cyril. Kill.
What I'm trying to spell out to you fine folks here is that the Moonrunners is a very large organisation. We are but a small part of that. And all I'm saying is that for your own good, it's worth having a powerful ally of the Moonrunners rather than a powerful enemy. So whatever you go about doing, do whatever you like. Just make sure that you don't get on the wrong side of the Moonrunners. Is that understood?
Yes.
I lost interest a few minutes ago. While we're gone, just find some information about Damon, and I turn and leave.
And Brucon will turn and follow him.
Well, he's a cocky shit, Bell. I can see why he's taking your interest. Anyway, fellas, back to the meeting, and you guys start leaving, and as this door starts closing, as Bell kind of closes it behind you, gives you a little wave to you guys, turns back, and you hear, "So, Vice Master, when does the Master return to the meeting with us?" And that's the last you hear as the door closes. So, guys, with that information and with that exchange over with, where are the three of you heading now?
To try and find information about Cyril's mum so we can kill her later if necessary.
Good call.
Okay, well, Brucon is not doing that. Brucon's
I'll go with
Brucon's going to continue to try and pin down more information about the location of the Eyrie. They're looking back through the book, checking records about it's the Ratgrit mountains where the Erie's generalized location is, isn't it? Yeah. So Brucon's going to go and hit the books again.
Sure. Okay, Brucon, make a general intelligence check for me, please.
Just intelligence.
Just intelligence.
Okay.
Yeah,
Also known as a roll of a 20-sided dice.
Ah, 0 modifier. Okay, fair enough.
0 modifier, so 13 is the roll there.
Well. In fairness, you only needed a 10. So with a 13, you before you go and hit the books, the first thing you realise, the first thing you're going to need to compare this roughly drawn map in the book is, as a point of comparison, is more of an up-to-date map of the area. And it just so happens that you know somebody who carries a map of this area. In fact, he is one of the party who's with you in the meeting. Seth carries a map and has he is a cartographer of sorts, so he's a good person to go to with your map.
Seth, I hear you have a cart of gophers, and I'm interested in learning more about it.
I turn to Fleeting. I'm like, Fleeting? Fleeting is the one with capybaras.
Perhaps I should clarify. I need help with a map.
Ah, yes. I pull out all
Wait a minute.
my
Oh, no. I've just realised something. I've just remembered something out of character. Do I remember correctly, James, you saying that a funny thing about Seth is that he thinks that whatever direction he is currently facing is north when looking at maps? Do I remember that?
But we're comparing two maps, so we're good.
Okay, so before we start, we'll go, okay, hang on a minute, we need to be facing this way. Cool, yep.
Where's the
Great.
sun? Oh, damn, it's night.
It's night time. There is no sun. I'm lost. No!
Where's the North Star? That one. That one. No, that one.
We don't need north for comparing two maps.
It's a fair point, Seth. That's why you've got the cartographer's skills, because you would know that. You would know that you can just line up the maps.
You definitely do. By the way, let's just be clear that the by far the most useful way to compare two maps is to start by understanding where north is on both of them. But okay, carry on.
As long as it's the same north on both maps. As long as it's
the
same.
Spot the difference and trying to find the Eyrie on the current one.
Even if it's wrong, as long as it's the same, you can work it out.
Okay.
Brilliant.
I'm going to put
Mad Hat Cats, thank you for following, by the way, has just said, ha, I adore this logic. Yes.
Such
yes,
logic.
Me too. Great logic from the cartographer. Okay, so Seth, you can spend the rest of, because it's already 11, but you can spend the rest of the evening, maybe early part of the morning, transferring the map to try and work out a location if you would like. Obviously, To do this, there'll be a skill check to do so. So we'll be using your cartographer's skills. So it's intelligence plus your proficiency for cartographer's skills. Or
Let's go.
tools, sorry. And I guess you probably want to do this in the comfort of your own home, unless you have somewhere else you want to do it.
Yeah. Let's go back to the range.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Cool. You guys can head on over there, and Fleeting, you can go tend to your giant capybara along with Horsey, or Reginald as he's otherwise known. Back at the house before you guys head inside, and Malar and Leobrin are there with the 2 charges. Now, during the time that this lot have been gone, Malar and Leobrin, was there any what were you guys up to? Was there anything particular that you guys wanted to achieve while they were at the meeting?
Marshall, did you want to do anything?
No. We split up because we're following Malar, but then we dealt with that, right?
I believe so, yeah.
No.
No?
No? What was the thing we were doing?
I know that Malar wanted to basically interrogate, politely question these Aarakocra with regards to ideally using the Open's help because he can do language, and find out about if they know anything about the filter of health or whatever it is that we for. See if the 2 locations match up.
Yeah. I'm with you. Okay. Well, you can certainly do this. So, Malar, you say you don't have a way to communicate with them directly. You'd have to do it through Leobrin, right?
Not today, but if Leobrin is around, Malar will. Oh, Mr. Leobrin, I really could do with a hand if you have anything better to do. I would like to talk to these 2 feathered gentlemen.
Of course. We can definitely make friends.
I intend to do a little more than that. I would like to. I intend to question them with regards to the location of the filter that may or may not be after.
Should be studying. Says that music backtrack though. Thank you.
Do I have to? Should I be communicating with yourself so that you can talk to the our charges, or is there some way you can give me your comprehension?
I can indeed give you the ability if you would like.
Oh, Mr. Leopen, if that would be too much trouble, it may be more useful. I would, of course, share any information that I glean with yourself.
Of course. Certainly. Let us head to them. It lasts an hour, but you might as well get your full hour's worth.
And I guess just trying to. I don't necessarily need to role play it, but I just set out what it is I'm trying to find. Which is this? What was it called? Filter of health or filter of something?
Filter of serenity, I think, was the one you. Or Carafe of Serenity. It goes by a few different names, but that I know the item you're referring to.
So I'll just try and communicate what this is to them. See if they have any awareness, or if there are any, I guess, shrines in the mountain area that they may or may not be familiar with.
Sure. Okay. So for this. So you'll be communicating essentially through Leobrin. So
no, I cast the spell on Malar.
Oh, you cast it on him. Oh, fantastic. Okay, in which case, Malar, ignore that. You can make a persuasion check.
Here we go.
I mean, perhaps it should have been Leobrin doing that.
Well, I was going to say if it was through you, it'd be like it would still be like a disadvantage or something because he's essentially talking to you and then you're interpreting, which doesn't carry quite the same meaning. Blah blah blah. But doing it directly, go ahead.
It's not atrocious, but it's not spectacular. It's 12.
12. Okay, with a 12, they hear you. They're obviously, you can tell Kerr is still quite alert. The other one hasn't recovered yet. They're still unconscious. But he's still quite, wary of you guys and the exchange that took place not so long ago. Obviously, now surprised that you're speaking to him in a language that he can understand, and him speaking back to you in a language that you can understand. But basically, the information you get from him, just to condense it down, as you say, rather than RPing this bit while the guys are gone, is you. It's not something that they deal with directly. Kerr has dealt with directly. However, they apparently in years past traded with a group of underground folk. They have come across potions before. There was one potion above all, which apparently was very powerful, but they didn't know what it was called. But apparently the master would know more. He's very emphatic with you that, you know, saving the master is the utmost priority, wherever they may be. But they must be somewhere in the Eyrie, if not in the mountain somewhere, if they're not already being taken by the Manticores.
These guys are quite low in the pecking order, right?
They are bottom of the barrel, these guys.
There it is! Thank you, DK.
But yes, thank you. Thank you, Bart.
Fuck you. I saw what you were doing. The hell with
I've
you,
had
sir.
to. I've realised on reflection over previous sessions that I've been awarding too much inspiration for puns, so I'm like really pulling myself back and go, wait, that's a great joke,
man.
but I can't give you inspiration for it.
Oh, you're kidding me!
So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have another award system for puns that's completely separate from the game, but just like kudos to you, and then eventually we get some kind of prize or something.
In the long run, that's probably for the best. But
Yeah.
I'm very sad at the first person to make a pun and not get inspiration for it. A week after using the inspiration I've been sat on for probably 4 or 5 months. But never mind.
No worries. No worries. In fairness, I think there was a pun or two last week, but I was like, no.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Just, you know, I don't want to ruffle too many feathers, so just that's how it is. Anyway, so that's the information that you gather from them at this time. As you say, they're low down the order. And then after this exchange, Brucon, Seth, and Fleeting arrive. What are you going to be doing with these Aarakocra? Where are you going to be sort of putting them overnight, I guess?
Do we have a spare bedroom?
You
I
do.
don't think we do we?
You do.
There's Neris. There's the room for Neris at the moment.
Oh.
I think there's 7 bedrooms as well, and there's 5 of you, so yeah, there's room.
Two guest bedrooms.
I'm
thinking of
a question for
She-Ra.
Fleeting, because we kind of glossed over this when you weren't here, Dan. There was a choice of there were 2 places where Fleeting could have his bedroom. Either it would be in the cellar using the beams there, and he can tie his feet to the beams, or there was the bedroom up on the top floor, which equally had beams that you could tie to, and it was, you know, obviously on the top floor. Which one would Fleeting frequent?
Where does Seth sleep?
In the middle. So
Exactly equidistant now.
yeah, so it's kind of well, actually no, that's a lie. You'd be closer to him if you were on the top floor.
Then you have your answer.
There we go. Okay. I thought also because then you will be above him, just like the what you had engraved into his hat. So
That is an added bonus.
that feels good.
I can just sense him staring at me through the floorboards.
You can just sense him, hear him breathing. You just notice a little hole in one of the floorboards and can see an eye just looking through. No, that's far too creepy. Anyway, so you can put up the guys.
He just uses like thermatology, so I can just hear breathe.
Oh dear, deeply disturbing. It's interesting bromance. Anyway, so you guys can put up the Aarakocra in one of the spare bedrooms overnight, which they look strangely at beds. They're not used to sleeping on beds. It's not something they do. But they kind of.
Is this a fancy old house where they're like the 4-poster beds with the big frames? Can they hang off the frame? Or like perch on the frame?
That's a fair point. Yes, it is. It is that style. You have got 4-poster beds, so they're kind of looking at that. I mean, you can observe them, or you can leave them to their own devices. It's entirely up to you.
Okay, so we're gonna get the Jesus out of here first thing, right? Because I don't want to face the sweet little old lady. I don't want to face her reaction to discovering that they've shat all over the bed overnight. Like, quick, get out now before she spots us.
Quickly.
Escape.
Probably
Saves
a
me
wise
putting that
idea.
in the group chat.
So you guys, you want to bed down for the evening, and you rise next morning, nice and late. What sort of time were you thinking of heading out? What's the plan? Like sunrise or?
I suppose it has to be quite
Yeah.
prompt, doesn't it?
Let's do it.
Say about
Make
6
the most of
a.m.
it.
something like that. Anyway, you get your long
Did,
rest.
did that roll of the 13, the intelligence check, that got us some a meaningful fix on the probable location, right?
Oh yes, so that's what. That's what Seth's been working on with the
Right,
map,
okay.
right? And did you say Seth had rolled? Sorry, did you say James had rolled a 13?
You asked me to roll a 13.
Yeah,
initially.
that was for you to, rather than wasting your time hitting the books, to go to Seth. That was what
Yeah,
that
yeah.
intelligence check was for. So Seth,
Sure,
what was the
so I don't
result
think we
of
did the
your
same roll.
cartography check?
I have rolled an 18 on the dice.
18.
Plus
18 was that?
Which is 3.
So 21.
18.
Okay.
21, yeah.
Okay, with that, so yes, while the others bed down for the evening, you're studying the map hard. This is the hardest you've probably worked in most of your life, at least academically. Although you've read on many creatures before and that sort of thing, but in terms of drawing maps and the like, this is new for you. But
This calls for a montage.
It's there's a lot of him leaning over a desk and spilling coffee and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Candle wax melting gradually throughout the montage, that sort of thing. But yes, you transpose. You get a bead on the location.
Seven pencils broken and thrown across the room at the end.
Exactly. Or like when you finally join the dots with two different locations, you just go, yeah, like fist pump yourself, and a freeze frame. End of montage. So yeah, you get a bead on the location. You're very confident in how you've worked this out and the location of this mountain, and you've affixed it to your map. Happy with where you're going, and then you go and rest up. Everyone else, Seth is last to wake up in the morning, a bit groggy because he was up a lot later than the rest of you. But you're ready to head on out. Before you head to, should I say, on the way to bits and pieces where you were going to meet Belle that morning, was there anything else that you wanted to do? Any last provisions or whatever you wanted to grab before you head on out, or anything you wanted to leave behind at the house?
As Seth comes down in the morning, and once he looks open for conversation, Brucon sort of grabs him, addresses him however you want to put it, and says, Seth, by the way, that potion of flying, that was pretty spectacular. Where did you get it?
Do you remember that guy who kept trying to sell us the fake magical items?
Vaguely, yes.
Stole it from him.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm assuming he wouldn't have another.
Well, he's currently been kidnapped by giant manticores, so if he does, maybe it can be a reward for us.
Right, okay. Excellent. An incentive. Just what we need. Okay, there we are. Thank you very much. And that is the sum total of Brucon. Brucon's the real drug for Brucon now is adrenaline.
Brucon
Brucon
whatever you've
is
got
now-
in that. Whatever he's got in that locket as well.
Yeah.
Supplies
Locket.
that we need. Do we need any more rope?
The little pouch.
Oh yes, yes, absolutely.
Sorry, James, that question
Brucon
again?
wants to get high on life.
Speaking of supplies that we may need for this journey, do we need any more rope? Do we have enough rope?
That's a good question.
Good question, guys.
If we're going into the mountain,
Do we
sheer
have
cliffs
grappling
and that
hooks?
sort of thing.
I have a grappling hook.
Yeah, you got what? At
Could
least one.
aim to get some more.
How much rope is enough rope?
Well,
How big is a mountain?
Brucon alone has 150 feet of the stuff about in his possession. So, while I accept that, if we find ourselves in a position where we need 151 feet of rope, that might be a problem. Unless other people also have it. More grappling hooks seems like a good idea, though.
Yeah, I've got 50 feet of hempen, 50 feet of silk rope.
Have we got?
I don't know why one is nicer than the other, but I have both.
Have we got a climber's kit?
Oh, that's
a very
it.
good question. That's a very good point. I don't think you do. Should be studying says if this was written in a book, Lord of the Rings would be a kiddie book in size. Yes, yes. It would. Welcome to long form storytelling. Thank you. Should be studying. Yes, it would be, wouldn't it? We're nearly up to session 50, which is next week. A very important one. Should have pointed that out, guys. But yeah, more for next time. Anyway, as we were, climber's kit. I don't believe any of you have one.
Let's buy a climber's kit just in case, and we've got 2 flying bird people accompanying us, so hopefully we'll be okay. But do we need anything else other than climbing kit?
We might need
hang
multiple
on.
climbers kits.
Do we have health potion?
Yep.
Yeah, good question.
Yep. Brucon's got DOS.
Climbers kit appears to work for one person.
And on the slightly more menial front, I should say that obviously Leoberin, with his philanthropic work around the town, has acquired 40 days worth of rations. So those would probably be good to divide up with the team for this expedition. Although you gather it's 1 day for those birds to fly between the locations, so obviously could be 2 for you guys.
Well, just for reference, Malal was going to pack Create Food and Water, which is a 3rd level spell. So.
Sweet. Very good call.
We got
because
food.
Water
We
isn't
got
covered
food.
by rations, so that's a good call.
Yeah, we have food and water, quite literally 4 days.
4 days.
I will ditch the. I'll tell you what. I'll ditch the food and water. Then I'll pick up Create Water. Malal meditates on.
Yep, sound.
Good call.
But yes, if we want climbers,
You know what else might be? I mean, this is very meta, and it's probably not a great idea, but locate creatures, pretty good spell.
Yeah.
Climbers
Or
kits
locate object
are...
if you were, but I suppose you need to have.
Well, if we're looking for manticores,
Yeah.
Yes, I was thinking more of the filter he was talking about. But yes,
that's true.
Oh,
there are
decisions,
two
You've got
very
so
good
many
spells
to
for
choose
locating
from.
things. Yep.
Locate creatures is a 4th level spell.
Also, surprisingly, find traps. Not a very useful spell for finding traps, or at least the location of them.
No,
We've got our magic detector, Leo.
I'd forgotten
It's
about
more,
locate
it's
creature.
more sense traps.
Yeah,
locate-
I was
locate
gonna say
magic
should be called
creatures.
sense traps.
climbers kits are per person.
Yes.
Then
So-
let's go buy some climbers kits and let's go.
Yeah, and also Brucon is not going to be wearing his waistcoat of gleaming. He's going for the subtle outfit more than not the cray nice one. So he's in his regular monk gear.
Okay. So and you
Are
head
we
on
ready
to
to go?
if you head on to Bits and
No, hang
Pieces
on.
and meet with
Nope.
Belle there. That's a good. Obviously, that's a general store as well, so you can pick up some stuff from her potentially.
Gonna arrange
Yeah.
a meeting point with where's close to the area that they know of.
Sure.
What's up, DK?
Yeah. Go
No,
ahead,
I'm just.
DK.
All I'm going to do is I want to buy a couple of stacking barrels.
Stacking barrels.
Yeah, because when you create water, it needs to go into something.
Oh, I
You
see what you
can't
mean. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. That makes an enormous. Yeah.
Good call. Get a
I'm
barrel.
creating water. What do you want me to do? Just catch in my hands? Yeah. Exactly.
Open your mouth
Uh,
really wide.
I believe that Horsey also has a couple of saddlebags and such on it, so you could potentially strap that barrel to Horsey to carry that load. Obviously means you can't
Cool.
ride Horsey, Seth, but I think for carrying
Just
a
to-
barrel of
That's fine.
water, that's probably a sensible idea. Unless you can
Just
go
to make
far.
my little weekly shameless plug for Order of the Stick, which everybody everywhere should be reading because it's amazing. There's a bit in Order of the Stick where a bunch of clerics for complicated reasons, which it's not worth getting into, find themselves stuck in a building with no like preparation for days. And there's a moment where you see that they've done like they set up a rota to create like food and drink, and then like a bunch of them hold up a towel or like a big sheet thing, and then dangle a gnome cleric above it to cast with a blindfold on to cast create water in order to simulate a shower. Really, it's really great. Seriously, read Order of the Stick. It's one of the best, like I would say, one of the best fantasy stories ever. And as an additional bonus, it's chock full of light ribbing and awesome D&D references and stuff. It's great. Check it out.
Well, there you go. Obviously, we're not sponsored by that, but go check it out. And the other ones
Talk
are
to me,
available.
Rich. Talk to me, Rich. There's no limit to how much hype I'm willing to do for you. Let's make it happen, man.
Talk to him. Talk to us. We got it. Anyway, so yeah, if you're prepping, that was the you can go, as I said, to see Belle at Bits and Pieces, the general store, and she may well be able to sort you out with some of the items you require. So you want to get some climbers kits? What else were you looking for? Oh, and barrels. You said a couple of barrels.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, a barrel that can hold 40 gallons of water, so that'll last you.
Yeah, but actually, there is one other thing Brucon would like
hooks.
to do, which is Brucon would like to pick up a couple of daggers.
Sure. Okay. They may well have those. All right.
I say a couple, a volume of daggers.
I would like several, please.
Let the number of daggers be equal to N, or D for dagger.
The number of the counting shall be 1. No.
Indeed.
All right.
Yeah.
So you get
It's come to my attention that darts are a silly thing for monks to use as ranged weapons when they could be using daggers, which actually work with their
I'll have to talk about darts in a upcoming Don't Believe the Hype video on monks, because it's, apart from the Kensei monk, it's like they're a bit
why
for darts.
do we get these? Yeah,
it's
exactly.
It's nice flavour, but it just mechanically isn't a great.
It just doesn't work. It doesn't go with the class build. Yeah, so let's do something about that and get some daggers, which emphatically do work. Well, if some that look vaguely like kunai or something are on the table, then Brucon will happily take them off the table, but they don't have to look that way for him to take them.
Good to know.
Aren't darts like a 1/100th of the price?
They are
And they
much
fit in your
cheaper.
pocket, so that there is that.
Yep. Still though.
But yes, for your
Hey, Damon got some serious usage out of a dagger. As far as Brucon's concerned, anything Damon can do, Brucon wants to be able to do at least as well, unless it involves that weird, crazy magic stuff that Brucon does not understand.
So we're looking for the magic dagger of sealing explosion.
Yeah.
Darts.
Leo's mortal enemy.
Darts are cheaper, but they are not monk weapons.
Exactly.
That
That's
is the issue. Yes.
That's the critical
Pointless
issue.
for a monk to have.
Well, not pointless, but if when you can have when you can have a monk weapon instead, then as a monk you would go with that. Yeah.
Please, wizards, if you're watching, just make the darts a monk weapon. Just make them a simple melee thrown weapon. Done.
It might be in the new book they're releasing at some stage
in November. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Very excited for that. Very excited for that. More on that on our Discord as well. If you haven't joined our Discord, please do so. The link has just disappeared, but it will come back on that screen. Keep watching that box; it will reappear.
Join us next time. Not next session. Next time the Discord thing comes around.
Yeah, just keep watching, everyone. Okay, so anyway, as we were saying, so you get to Bits and Pieces, and the various items that you can acquire most of the items. So Belle's more than happy to help you guys. Obviously, it's not even opening time yet, but she opens up nonetheless to let you guys in. And she is accompanied by Reg, the braided hair, the dwarf with the braids. There you go. The casual dwarf with the braids and the sort of leather roadie waistcoat comes on in. Too, but he's come to look at the map that Seth has put together with a rendezvous point, as he is the route master for this chapter of the Moonrunners, and Belle is very happy to oblige you with the two. Was it 2 daggers you were after, Brucon?
At least 2.
She
It
has
depends on
she
how
has
many they
3
have.
in stock.
And how much would 3 cost?
She's willing to give you all 3 because it's you for 5 gold pieces.
Sold.
There you go. There you go. She does you guys a discount.
I will bite your arm off for that. A, Brucon does not really understand the value of money, and B, that sounds to him like a solid deal, and therefore he will take it. No question asked.
You also wanted some grappling hooks, right, Brucon?
We collectively would like some more.
Sorry.
Hooks.
Okay. Grappling hooks. Now she has 2 grappling hooks in stock. They're 2 gold pieces each.
3. One per 2 party members. That sounds like a solid deal. So how many gold pieces each was it?
So it was 4 gold pieces for the 2. So
okay,
that's awkward between the 5 of you, but you can work it out.
Brucon again doesn't understand that money is a finite resource, and will happily just buy them.
Okay, so they are Brucon's. Fair enough.
I need to shop with Brucon more often.
He is that big spender from that song. And you probably want to spend a little time with him.
What was that, Marshall? Sorry.
What was that item that we were getting? Sorry.
Grappling hooks.
That's done. You also were after climbers kits. Oh, a barrel. Before we get to that, barrel. Yes, Mala. There are several barrels to choose from. She offers you any of the barrels that you would like. If you want just the standard size 40-gallon barrel, that's 2 gold pieces. If you would like, they have some smaller ones as well. If you wanted to get a couple of smaller barrels, 3 gold pieces for 2 of those. So they're half the size. They're 20 gallons. So you've got 2 20 gallons, which you give for 3 gold pieces, or 1 40-gallon for 2 gold pieces. So it's cheaper for the bigger one, but the smaller ones might be more portable. So it's up to you.
No, I've got a cunning plan for this. I'll buy the one big 40-gallon, and can I get an additional length of rope?
Yeah, okay, sure. Some hempen rope, not a problem. So it's another gold piece for the rope. Seth.
How much was the barrel?
The barrel was 2 gold pieces. So Seth, Bell takes you to one side after doing these exchanges with the rest of them, and goes,
"Oh, Seth, where you are going could be very dangerous. Want to make sure that Bantom gets back safely, but also that you get back safely. This is not much, but I hope it helps you." And she climbs up into the tree, goes to one of the higher branches, and brings down a bundle in a sort of iron box. Opens it up and gives you a climber's kit.
All right, the climber's kit is out of climbing range.
Smart.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bill.
As you are
what did you
welcome.
do to get this woman's affections?
I was me.
Yeah.
Solid
More
response.
to it than that, but yes.
Excellent reply. Are you suggesting that there was anything I would need to do? I love it. Outstanding.
So anyway, she goes back behind the counter, nods to the Oberyn, and speaks to you in Sylvan, knowing from your previous exchanges of your heritage and her own.
So what can I get for you?
I believe we're all after climbers kits, as you just handed over to our friend.
Oh no, I gave one over to Seth, yes, but I only have one more in stock. It's not something we always get asked for. But I can sell that to you. It is normally 25 gold pieces, but obviously this is an important errand, and I can give it to you for only 20, if that is okay.
Sure. I mean, one of us will need to use it.
Brucon leans around and goes, is now a good time to point out that having all of the equipment at our disposal we could possibly need maximizes our chances of rescuing your beloved brother?
Make a persuasion check, Brucon.
Sure.
Will we
Valid
need to
point.
use both climbers' kit to stabilize Mallow on a cliff?
15 on the persuasion roll.
15. She goes, oh no, you make a very good point indeed, sir. It is only that I am a humble business operator, and I have to make sure that I stay in business as well. But of course, without bantam, what is my business? Okay, well, in which case I can perhaps I can do it for the cost price. I could sell it to you for 10 gold pieces. How is that?
I mean, it works for me. Thank you, Brugon. Certainly. Bart, you're muted. That looked like an amazing rant.
Oh no! I keep forgetting. What I said was Brucon's reaction to this entire exchange is, no, this money thing, it just doesn't make any sense. But never mind, it's fine, whatever. And then just turns around and carries on, browsing basically.
Right. Okay. So while you carry on browsing, Seth, so Reg kind of approaches you and asks you about where you where this place is, and you can compare your notes if that's what you are inclined to do.
Yep. So we'll set up a meeting point for them to be in about 2 days' time, and to wait there until survivors come out. Should take us 2 days to get there, so we should be fighting them tomorrow.
Right, yeah, and he kind of looks at the map with you and says, right, so, okay, well, that particular location, there, I happen to know there's an old farmhouse down that way. I believe it was once, I think it was like a lodging house for miners and the like, and it may well have been abandoned, but that is probably a good meeting spot, a good little point on a map, as it were. Also, there are a few watchtowers along the mountains in that area. Now, some of them are maintained by a garrison of soldiers from here in Burikrin. Probably best you don't draw attention to yourself from those towers. But like I said, I think it's far enough away that it shouldn't cause you too much of a problem, but just keep it in mind in case you see any blue and whites going along.
Sounds good.
All right, so we'll meet there. Nice. And he puts a little spot on your map.
Perfect.
Lovely
Let's
job.
go, team.
Do we have the Aarakocra, or have we left them in the house?
I guess we'll assume they're with you, right?
Yeah, they're our guides / prisoners.
Yeah.
They've just been kind of chirping occasionally.
As soon as we, you do realise the prisoner bit is going to become entirely theoretical the very first time we ask them to do any kind of scouting. Or are we gonna bind their wings up?
No, we get one to scout and we keep the other one down there.
Okay. I feel like this is moving towards that Always Sunny in Philadelphia because of the implication sketch, but let's move past that for now. Maybe we'll come back to that question a bit later on. Cool. Anyway, yes.
All right. So once you gather all your stuff together, guys, is there anything else you wanted to get? Are you happy to head on out of Hillburg?
Malar would like to just try and do something with this barrel.
Yeah.
Rope. He's gonna take all of his stuff, put it into the barrel, and then try and fashion sort of arm straps or
I wanted to do this with another character in another game. It didn't quite work, but yes. Okay, so for this, this is essentially you're gonna use the rope to make straps, aren't you? And make a kind of makeshift backpack with a barrel. Okay, so for this, this will be. So if you are you trained in any tools that would be useful for this? No. Okay. In which case, I'm gonna say there'll be a couple of different roles for this as you kind of fashion this together. So first of all, I need you to make this will be an intelligence check.
Keto.
Just straight intelligence. I don't think there's a one that's
17.
17. Great. So your concept is there in how you would put the straps on, how you would then fasten them to the barrel and make sure they're secure. So the plan is sound. Okay. Next, you're gonna need to cut up the lengths of rope and start attaching them. So next, make a dexterity check. 16, good enough. So yeah, you measure out the lengths of the rope, cut them down so they're the right size, and they're both the same size because that's quite important. And then finally, to attach them to this barrel, you'll need to just kind of secure them in place with a couple of iron spikes or similar. So we'll say nails. You can get some nails, I'm sure. Interesting, had an echo there. Anyway, get some nails out, start hammering those home. And so for this just make a strength check, please.
A water receptacle, right?
Yeah, this could be a problem depending on how he does here.
Just gonna put some liquid in there. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. We're just gonna start banging holes in it.
How did you do there? Sorry, okay.
6.
Yeah, bit heavy-handed with this one with the hammer, and you split the barrel at the bottom, so there's a hole in it. You split the wood with your nail.
You know what we need right now, don't you? You know what we're missing at this exact moment in time?
Someone who can cast mending.
Cast the spell mending.
But they're still in town. They could drop by.
That's true. Actually, isn't she? She's currently. Womp womp.
Equally, her uncle is a carpenter.
That was exactly where I was going. Like, is she not learning right now how to do carpentry with a carpenter who does carpentry?
The skill of carpenting.
Carpenterizing. I am a master carpenterator. I'm not.
Carpentology.
We nearly ready to go?
What was that?
Do we have
Can I either
anything?
get that fixed or buy a new barrel?
Yeah. I would say for the timekeeping, probably just buy another barrel.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
It's a great
And
idea.
I'll
just that final check.
Put it on the back of Horsey. Job done.
Okay. Alrighty then. Okay, so now with the barrel secure on Horsey, you guys are ready to head on out of Hillburg, with Seth in the lead, obviously, with the map, so you can direct you guys in the direction. You've obviously got the 2 Aarakocra with you as well.
Just as we're about to leave, I'm just going to say to Fleeting, this is for you, and I'm going to give him a potion. I'm going to give him the same instructions as Brucon. Do not drink this unless it's really necessary. So this potion will make you stronger. So if we're in a fight that's going bad, or just not an easy fight, drink it. It will last for an hour.
Drink it now. I carry
No, don't drink it. Don't drink it. I will stop him if he goes to drink it, but no, don't drink it. Don't drink it now at all.
Okay.
In a fight, if we're going to fight, like say suddenly there are 10 Manticores around us and we're like, oh shit, that's when you drink it.
I have an idea.
Oh my god, no.
So there's no confusion, you can give me a signal when I need to drink it. And the signal can be you hugging me.
Will be no.
Agreed?
Use the
Agreed.
emoji, use
Okay.
the clap out emoji. This is what it was made for.
How about
Don't
this
have
is the
access to
signal.
it. in
When
chat.
I want
I
you
need to put that
potion,
on,
or it's a good
on
time
Twitch.
to drink the potion, I yell. No, I will yell. Drink the potion now, Fleeting. That'll
And
be
then
our
hug me.
subtle cue.
And then hug me.
If we're not in trouble, then I'll hug you.
Thank you. Perfect.
Yes. if you don't already have inspiration, Dan,
If I'm
you
dying,
can have inspiration.
the potion could save my life. Hug.
Yeah, James, your internet's.
You're a bit dropping in and out there.
I need to
James.
stop giving people potions.
You're happy on the more positive side. We can now hear you again, I think.
Okay, so
Maybe.
with that taken care of, you can start heading on your way. The Aarakocra looking sheepish, but coming along with you nonetheless. Heading in a northwesterly direction. At first, actually, you're following the road out of Hillburg, because that heads in the same general direction as where you want to head. It's time goes by, without incident as you go along the road, but actually a fortuitous time for you as you're heading up the road, as you pass. You can see a caravan up ahead of you. It seems to be heading in your direction. You can see in the sunlight, because it's actually a very nice day out today. That you can see a glinting coming off of this caravan. As they get closer, you recognise there are many potions dangling from this caravan, and if that wasn't signposting enough, you also hear the characteristic, unmistakable voice of Phil the Trader as he recognises you, still wearing the chainmail that Malar gave him some time ago. Oh, hello there! Oh, did you happen to need any potions today?
Brucon turns to Seth and goes, I thought you said he'd been abducted.
No, that's the other guy.
Oh.
Yes.
This guy is not a cheat.
Ah, I see. Does this guy have... Sir Phil. Sir Philip.
Sir Phil.
Suppose you have any potions of flying about your person?
Oh, no, lad, I'm afraid I don't. Young Seth here kept me an honest man with his potion of flying, but I haven't found one myself, no. In fact, I'm looking to purchase more potions, so if you happen to know someone who has potions of flying, I'd be more than interested in doing a business arrangement with them.
What potions do you currently have?
I've got several potions of healing. I've got a couple of potions of featherfall. I've got a potion of bewitchment. That's very important, that one. And I've got a potion of detect life.
What's the bewitching one?
It makes you more compelling to talk to.
Oh, I don't need that.
Must be strong. Must not rise to incredibly obvious gag.
Don't do it.
So glad I had my mic turned off.
Strong. My will save is very good on this character.
Oh, actually, young sir, I believe your dwarven friend might be interested in this. I have a potion of sobriety. If you've got a hangover, it'll clear you right up.
Brucon moves his full speed per round in a matter of a picosecond, just as far away from the potion of sobriety as physically possible. Don't tell me I did it again.
Are you sure? Would you like this one, sir?
Brucon shouts back, absolutely not. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. I may have misread you there. No worries. Well, anyway, if you need any potions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going scouting. What would you like, Seth?
How many do you have?
Potions of healing?
Well, hang on.
Yes.
We've got 7 potions of healing.
I have none. Why do you still have so many?
Because you keep giving them to me, and I just keep using spells because they come back. I will give you a couple of potions of healing out of the group reserve.
Thank you.
Oh,
Take
I
two.
see you've set up shop as a travelling potion seller, have you, Deacon Shade Creek?
Oh, no. I
You
don't
know
suppose
I've
you've
been
got any-
selling potions for 3 years. Trying to drive me out of business after 3 years.
That groan from James was amazing.
I
Mal
think we should
disengages and
stick
walks
to
away.
our lanes, Deacon Shade Creek. You stick to your religious stuff and I'll stick to me potion stuff. But if you wish to buy some, I'm always here.
Well, I agree with you sticking to our tracks in life, Mr. Phil. I don't suppose you have any diamonds by any chance?
Diamonds? No, I don't have any currently. I have been traded
good day to you
gemstones
then, sir.
before. I know where to get
Walking
some,
away.
though.
No, Mallow is gone, he's leaving, he's out of there.
Well, what can I say? Sometimes we're like a diamond in the rough.
Bye, Phil. And I walk away.
Good day to you, sirs. Happy travels on the road. And he continues on his way, away from you lot. Though you can hear him for quite some time afterwards, chanting away to himself. Anyway, continuing on, you can continue on the road. Next couple of hours, uninterrupted. And then, Seth, you can see that you need to deviate from the road and kind of head into the foothills, just because it's the most... it will be the more expedient route for where you're going. It's that, or you can carry on... so basically, it's quicker to go along the foothills because it cuts off a massive corner, or you can stick to the road, head up towards Flaming Jacks, and then at the crossroads, you can just head north from there. It's up to you which way you'd like to go.
Well, we'll head the quickest way. While
Head
we're
the quickest way,
traveling,
sure.
can we have one of the Aarakocras flying above us? Like alternate two flights after like a couple hours or so.
You can do. You need to communicate this with
we
them.
discussed with them.
But yeah.
Probably would have been something we talked about like beforehand when we had an hour talking to them before. But just that, like, because like we mentioned that the Manticore is coming and see them, so we don't just miss the Manticore.
Sure. You'll need to communicate this to them. So, how are you guys going to do that?
No, so I was like, because we've done it when we were spending an hour talking to them when we had the spell working before. Because we had them at the house and we were planning and
Yeah, we had an hour.
Going through
hour's
stuff.
chance
Oh,
to
I see. So
check-
you're saying in that hour you could then add that into the... Yeah, all right. No, I'll allow it. That's fine. Okay, sure. So yeah, one of them can be flying up ahead, and then we'll obviously signal to you if they see a Manticore coming. It's a very good plan. So you start heading into the foothills, and it does indeed. It cuts several hours off of your journey time. You then are in sight of the mountains. You recognise, Brucon, you would recognise actually the formations of these mountains far in the distance, but it's a clear enough day that you can see them, and you can pinpoint one in particular that looks just like the one in the book. The drawing looks almost uncanny uncannily similar to the one to the one of these mountains in the range ahead of you. Obviously, a day's travel from where you are, a long way away, but within your sight line nonetheless. Can everyone make perception checks as you're looking out in this direction?
17 total.
I'll take 10 off that, and you get Brucon's.
Okay.
No number you need to worry about.
Dan?
11.
So 17 is the highest, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So Seth, you can spot, given that it's quite a clear day, as you're looking at, and Brucon points out the mountain towards you. Again, you agree that's the one you need to be heading for, in and amongst the mountain range far in the distance. But as you're looking out there, you can just about see one sort of black blip kind of appear out from the mountains. It seems to be in the air. Looks like some kind of bird, perhaps, but probably worth keeping an eye on. And as you continue travelling for the rest of the day, for the next few hours of the day anyway, get well into the afternoon, you look up again, Seth, and you can see that same, where that blip was before, it's now quite a bit larger, seems to be closing in, heading towards your location. The sun is setting at this time, but you can still see it out there. And it's just as the sun is about to set when you hear the warning squawks of the Aarakocra above you, and then flies down, starts flapping its arms at you, panicked, saying, "It's coming." Well, you obviously can't understand it, but you get the idea that that's what's going on. It's the signal. Ah.
He either needs the poo or he's found the Manticore. Either way, let's just prepare for a fight.
Yep, solid. Yep, I'm in.
If it's the first option, hopefully.
Right.
Should we hide? Are we hiding?
So you're in the hills. There are various shrubs and stuff. If you wish to hide, that's up to you.
The whole point was to not hide.
No, we lure it in and sneak attack it.
So how are we going to lure it in if we're hiding?
Oh,
It's already seen. Is it coming towards us? Has it seen the Aarakocra and seen it land?
Not that you know of, but it seems to be heading in the. It's still continuing in the direction.
Mr.
Someone,
Brucon, worry not. I will
someone
be
make an
bait
Aarakocra
since-
noise.
Go on, DK.
Sorry, DK, what were you saying?
I will be bait since I am not gifted such as the rest of you with night vision. So I will just stand here with my torch out and hope to coax it down, and the rest of you should then pounce.
Make some Aarakocra noises with your the really loud thing you can.
Let me think about that. And the trunk comes out to Seth's face, and I just blast him with a.
This is why I don't like giving people nice things. I instantly regret it.
The trunk just takes Seth's hat off and just places it on Malar's head. And then he puts it back.
Oh.
You just blew his nose with your hat. That demands surely a violent reprisal.
I'm going to glare, and I'm going to slowly walk back, crossbow out, and hide in a bush. Still just glaring at Mala, backing up slowly.
So in the area that you guys are in, you know that there's more rock formations and rocky outcroppings and stuff, which you can duck behind. There's a few, gorse bushes and the like in this area as well that you could use for cover if you were trying to hide. But it's generally a more rocky terrain here. But Seth, if you want to go and hide, go. You're more than happy for you to do so. Make a stealth check.
Rolled a 10, so that's 21.
It's just batshit, but yes, okay. 21. 21 with a 10. Amazing.
Expertise, yo.
Expertise, yo, and a +5 dexterity, because good call. Rolled a 19 as well in your original stats, so it's fair enough.
Brucon is also going to try and find somewhere to hide, and he rolls a 20 for stealth.
Excellent. So the two of you can hide yourselves in and amongst the bushes pretty aptly. The two Aarakocra just kind of crouch behind one of the larger rock formations, thinking that's good enough to hide in.
Can I try and hide when Fleeting's not looking at me, so that he can't come and hide next to me? I can instantly just predict his plan.
You could probably, I would say to do this, you would probably need to distract Fleeting.
Fuck it, it's not worth it. He'll never fall for it.
Okay, so you two are hiding. The Aarakocra are attempting to hide, but not very well. Malar's standing out in the open. Leobrin, Fleeting, what are you guys doing?
Cover. Cover would be good. Yeah. Lesson learned from last time that magical cover is not as good as real cover. Go for the nearest cover.
Okay, so you can make a stealth check. Spellcaster 5.
Zip. 14.
14. Okay, so yeah, again, you find a rocky outcrop, just some smaller rocks with kind of gathered in a cluster, and you kind of climb in and amongst those. It's quite difficult to get into, but equally it gives you good cover on all sides, apart from directly above you. So it might be a good place to hide. And Fleeting, look, what are you doing?
I'm going to stand with Malar in solidarity, and also so I can tell him what's happening in the dark.
That's a very good plan. That's very sensible, actually. It's uncharacteristically sensible, but yes, great
Holy
idea.
shit.
He's
Oh,
growing
thank you,
as a
Mr. Fleeting.
person. So, in which case, Fleeting, look, make a perception check, because you're the eyes for Malar in the darkness, the growing dark.
16.
16. Right, with a 16, looking out into the growing dark of the sky, clouds are starting to form up ahead, and you can see now coming into focus not one large flying creature, but 3. They're in a tight formation, and they are heading directly for you two. And that's where we're going to leave today's session. So,
Freaking kidding me.
cliffhanger. So, yeah. So, session
You've been
50.
Lockdown, I can see.
Sorry?
You've been watching a lot of streaming TV during lockdown.
I mean,
end every episode with a cliffhanger. Because
before we even, have you not? Please don't answer that for my own my own humility. Anyway, got to leave it on a cliffhanger, of course, because next week is session 50. 50 sessions of this campaign, guys. I mean, I appreciate that since we've been doing this virtually, that the sessions have been shorter, but even still, that's a hell of an achievement. So session 50 is going to be a big one when the Manticores strike. Come and join us for that. That's on Monday, usual time at 6 p.m. But before that, of course, a couple of things going on this week. As I said, on Wednesday, if you're not already following us on YouTube, please do so, because on Wednesday at 6 p.m, that's when we drop the very first session from The Cage, the new campaign that's going to be starting here on Slice and Dice. And on Friday, come and join me from 5 p.m. for another campaign diary, wrapping up what's been going on in the last 2 sessions here on the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Should Be Studying just sent a load of hearts to us. Thank you very much. Thank you guys, of course, for playing. Thank you, Dan. Welcome back. And yeah, hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you all this time next week. Thank you all. And until then, stay safe.